Right, I pass over to Vicky, who's already got Kirk Turnbull from QFX live on the phone. And without further ado, because the guy is really, really busy, she's just going to go straight into some questions. So be ready for it.
So, how did you first get involved in the music industry?
Many years ago, when I was about 18 years old, I took up music, and I had a normal day job, and I just spent most of my day at my job. And I wasn't doing what I should have been doing, writing songs and thinking about music. And it wasn't until after a couple of years I actually lost my job, and not through that though, but just through the fact that it was, you know, hard times for that company, and I went into the music industry full time at that point.
And can you remember what the first gig was you ever done as QFX?
I can't remember the name of it. I know it was a big one. I can remember it because there was about 2,500 to 3,000 people at it. And it was quite big for back then. I'm sure it had a name. It was like Armageddon, I think it was called. It was one of the first big rave events in Scotland, and I'm sure it was in Livingston. I couldn't remember, to be 100% sure. I mean, I'm sure it's documented somewhere, but I just can't remember, to be honest.
And did the band, I know there's yourself, there's the two Davids, there's Neil and there's Debbie, did you all know each other before QFX?
No, we kind of all got together round about the start of QFX. I mean, not everybody was in the band, and the two Davids were, and Neil and Debbie kind of came along later as the band grew. There was also a couple of other dancers at that time and another MC, and we just kind of changed and developed as the music changed and developed, and the art just kind of formed its own little kind of group at that point, its own little family.
The dance scene kind of died off for a while as well. Did that affect you at all?
I think QFX has been kind of lucky. I mean, we've never stopped gigging in 15 years, and you know, we've obviously, up until about 2000, we were doing roughly about 120, 130 live shows a year, so we were really, really busy. And then from about 2000 on, things started slowing down. But I mean, we've never kind of dropped to below 30, 40 shows a year. And we've never stopped. I mean, just now I kind of take kind of 6 months of the year just to go away and work on stuff, usually in the States or here on some of the new artists for the future.
Do you actually write all your own material?
Yeah, I write and produce everything. Sometimes I collaborate with singers, but most of the time I just sit down in the studio and write it myself, and then the singers will come in and record it then once I've finished an idea.
What inspires you to write? Where do you get all your ideas from?
I don't know. I mean, there's so much great music out there, you know, especially in Scotland. We've got such a lot of great artists in all genres of music, which is fantastic. It's really inspiring just to be in Scotland and writing music, you know, when we've got so many great songwriters and so many great singers in Scotland. And for me, it's always been a kind of home thing. Although the whole UK music scene obviously is full of talent and full of great singers, and it's great to actually just be part of that. So it's just listening to the music on, you know, you hear on radio or you hear in a club and stuff, and you're always inspired to think, oh wow, I wish I'd written that. So you want to go and actually do it and write it again.
You've also done a lot of remixes as well, haven't you? Including Gala, Free From Desire. I didn't actually know you had done a remix of that. But that was a huge hit song.
Yeah, it was actually it was the biggest selling record of that year, and QFX was the featured remixers on that song. You know, we were the ones that did the main mixes for it, and you know, it was a huge. I gained gold discs for that one. I think in total it sold over 1 million records now, that record. So it's a good one for QFX to be associated with. And I've actually just remixed that, which I'll maybe send you in, and you can have a listen to. It seems to be really popular. So
yeah, it'd be great. How different is it from mixing other people's stuff to doing your own stuff?
Well, it's from some standpoints of view, it's very similar, because when you come to do a remix, normally you just get the vocal parts. So it's really about starting afresh when you come to do a remix. You're actually starting from nothing apart from a vocal sitting there. So you really got to rewrite all the music that went underneath it and reproduce it and rewrite it. You're not actually taking other people's musical parts and using them again. I mean, some people do, but in general, most remixers just grab the lead vocal, get the timing of it, and then work out the keys and chords and rewrite the whole thing again. So it's not too much different from actually writing your own song. The only difference is, having to think of the lyrics, melody, and stuff like that, because that's already there.
I know you just said a wee minute ago that you've actually earned yourself a gold disc. I mean, not a lot of artists actually get that. How did that make you feel?
Yeah, I was really proud to get that. It's been great having that, that kind of thing with QFX, and the fact that I have been, a gold disc nominated artist, and I've done a lot of remixes in my time that have been reasonably successful, but that one was definitely the icing on the cake, and it helps to get the actual fact that QFX now have done something like 4 to 5, just somewhere between 4.5 million to 5 million record sales worldwide, which is it's quite good.
Excellent. Can you put it into words what the best gig you've ever done is? I know it's quite hard because you've done so many.
Oh, wow, it is so difficult because we've done, years of things like Resurrection and Fantasia and Colourfest and stuff like that, and all these huge gigs, they really are spectacular, and the people that come to them, are always up for such a great time. So, and in the past few years, there's things like Colourfest and Fantasia and all the way back to Resurrection. But I mean, at the same time, I always find that some of our greatest gigs are ones where we're 10 feet from the crowd, and the crowd's just feeding back to us so much. So it really, everybody says it's got to be one of your biggest ones, but there's highlights and everything, and for me, some of the little ones have just been fantastic as well. I mean, sometimes, years ago we played to 250,000 people in Burgess Park in London, which was quite an eye-opener.
And what's your favourite QFX track?
That's difficult because I always say it's one that I've not written yet.
I'll be the next one then.
Yeah, but I'll be one of my favourite ones at the moment is one of the new ones off the new album, which is called We Are All Stars, which is going to be on the new album. And then it's really difficult for me to pick out all the, there's 5 albums, almost over 120 odd tracks that we've written, so it's difficult to actually pinpoint one in particular.
And what are QFX up to at the moment? Are you in the studio still recording and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, I've been in the studio now for on and off for the past year. I've been so busy that it's been kind of taking this new album a bit of time to get finished off, but we've got a lot of people that are going to do mixes on it. Quite well-known artists are going to be doing mixes and stuff, and at the same time, we're this is why I'm flying out to America tomorrow. Is I'm going to be working on the album out there for a few weeks just to get a bit of a different perspective on it. So.
Right. And I'm not being cheeky in the next question, there is actually a point to it. Is QFX your full-time job, or do you actually have another job as well?
No, QFX is my full-time job and has been for 15 years now. There's a lot more to a band than, normally meets the eye. I organise, manage a band. I used to run the record label in the management company. Now I just run the management company and just starting back up with the record label.
There was a reason for that, because we did interview some big bands, including Ultrasonic, who we thought could live off the name Ultrasonic forever, but they don't actually. They actually have normal 9-to-5 jobs as well, which I was really surprised at.
Yeah, I think it really depends in the music industry. I mean, QFX have been lucky. We've had I think it's 9 entries into the UK top 40 now. So it kind of generates its own kind of life from that. I mean, I wouldn't say it's made us all hugely rich, but at the same time, the music and the fans and stuff have always kept us going, and we always look to try and make the band bigger and better than it has been in the past, and look to the future, and the same for other artists as well. So.
And where can we catch QFX live at the moment? What's the next gigs that are coming up for us?
I think we've got I'm just trying to remember where we're off to next. I know we're down in north of England soon, and we're also, I think, going to be up here. We've got a provisional booking at the moment for a place in Kirk Turnbull. It's a new place, so we've never been there, so we're hopefully going to be there. And we've also got a Back to the Future coming up. I think it's in March at the Carlin Academy.
Excellent. And a lot of people are saying, why are you not on the bill for Fantasia?
Well, that was a personal thing. I didn't want to go into this bill because we'd just been and done Fantasia before Christmas, the last one there before Christmas. Then we did Back to the Future Christmas Hogmanay special.
Can you tell we were there?
I never saw you. I wish I knew you were there. So yeah, I'm just kind of really. We were asked to do this one, and I kind of said at the same time, I think it's maybe a bit soon for us to come back on. I'd like to come back with a new album material, new stuff, plus the old stuff, obviously. I mean, that never goes out of the set. But we want to start bringing in some new material, trying to freshen up the show a bit, just give us a bit of time to do that for a big show. So that's what we're working on at the moment, is so that, we don't get jaded and stayed. We want to make sure that we're fresh and everybody's into what we're doing.
And what are the plans for the future for QFX?
Onward and upward, I hope. Hopefully we'll get the new album out, get some new chart success, and to try and take the band to a bigger audience yet again. But we just like doing what we do, and we love coming out and gigging and meeting people and just doing our shows. For us that means a lot. But at the same time, we've not had an album out since 2002, and we want to get a new single out and just get some new material. Everybody's been crying out for the past couple of years, when's a new album coming? And to be honest, it's just been a kind of, I'm wanting it to be ready, and I want it to be right, and I just want it to be, exactly right for everybody. And
you were just saying Epidemic Records has started back up again as well, yeah?
Yeah, that's the label that I started maybe 10 years ago, and QFX had all its top 40s and majority of its albums on, so I wanted to recoup that, and hopefully look for new artists and singers and people to work on that label with us. And we're going to make sure that QFX is, back up there in the top again of the charts.
Well, thank you very much, Kirk. I'd like to thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to speak to us right here in the Party Den on FPR. Ladies and gentlemen, is Kirk Turnbull from QFX.
Thank you very much. All the best to your listeners.